Look, this is my guitar pick, and this is the pedal I'm demoing today. Welcome back to Boring Gear Reviews. Today we have the brand new pedal from the Silly Goose Wizards at Olinthus. It drops today, it's available right now, and it is based on the 1969 Russian Big Muff. Would you just look at how insanely adorable these things are? The controls are very, very simple. We have level. This will control the overall output of the pedal while it's engaged. Next, we have sustain, and this is going to be your distortion or gain or fuzz control. And lastly, we have tone. This tone control is interesting. It's not just adding or cutting high end or adding or boosting low end. It really changes the characteristic of the fuzz. So I will actually show that a little bit later. These things come in this adorable little tin, and inside you get some goodies and breakdown of what the pedal does, and you get this breakout cable. So the way it works is there's a little jack on top, and you just insert this in, and now we have our input, our output, and our power. Honestly, I feel like maybe the cable weighs as much or more than the pedal. Let's find out. Cable weighs 38.1 grams. The pedal weighs 28.49 grams. So indeed, the cable is heavier than the pedal. All right, so let's get into it. For today's demo, I'm going to be using my 1979 Ibanez ST300-NT, and this has the stock pickups, which are Ibanez V-2 pickups. From there, we're going into my Universal Audio Apollo X6 interface, and then as always, using the Softube JMP 2203 amp plugin. As a real quick side note, a couple years ago, starting this channel, I've gotten a ton of questions and messages about this Softube JMP 2203 amp plugin. For me, it's the best amp sim around. I've literally tried them all. It sounds and feels so natural. There are other great ones, but for me, this one is my absolute top. Every once in a while, I get people commenting like, oh, I don't want to hear if it's not a real amp. If I didn't tell you, I guarantee you wouldn't know. I actually happen to have a JCM 800 combo sitting in front of my desk. Perhaps one day I'll do a comparison, like a blind comparison. If you want to see that, comment below, let me know. All right, so for this first clip, we're going to have the Cicada going into the earwig. You can pause for my settings here. One cool thing about a low gain setting on a Big Muff is it's really punchy, but it's also flat. Like Big Muffs compress hard. And this has this kind of like ultra dry, very punchy, but really squashed sound that is really rad. There's something about it that just hits me in a really nostalgic way. So in the beginning, I'll have the volume rolled back. You'll see how it really cleans up quite well. And then we'll roll up the volume, and then we'll turn on the Cicada. When you put a boost, like a tube screamer style, in front of a Cicada, it doesn't necessarily get more distorted. It gets more focused. It gets clearer. It adds a little bit of brightness. It's a really kind of a perfect, like a very dry, low mid-gain sound. I dig it. Hope you do too. Enjoy. Next up, we're going for super high gain. Here are my settings. And we're going to be pairing that with the Death by Audio Rooms. And this is going to be providing a big, lush reverb with the Earwig. So I mentioned that the tone control is really powerful. I'm going to show it off here. So in the beginning, we have it around 3 o'clock. Tons of searing, kind of high-end trashiness with this big weight that muffs are known for. And then towards the end, I'm going to crank the tone, and even this small difference between like 3 and 5 or 3 and max, you hear quite a big shift in tone. It has a sharper edge, sharper attack. Everything about it gets a little more kind of mean and aggressive sounding. At the end, I'll do some chugga-chuggas, and I'll roll the tone back and forth, and you can hear how wildly different it is. For this last clip, we're going to switch things up and use a bass. To do that, we'll be using my 1962 Gibson EB-3. We're still going to be using the Apollo X6, but this time we're going to be using the Brainworks Ampeg SVTR plugin. Okay, super gnarly. I'm gonna switch between different pickup settings on the EB3, and it changes it a lot, so you'll hear a bunch of different tones and sounds, but suffice it to say, insanely aggressive, just like a really disgusting bass tone. You can pause for my settings here. Anyway, it speaks for itself. Enjoy. there we have the Olinthus Earwig. Not much to say, they knocked it out of the park once again. Sounds and feels fantastic. It's literally a Big Muff. So if you like Big Muffs, you'll like this. The one thing the Big Muff can't do is be small. That is a big, chonky pedal. And this is a teeny tiny little adorable pedal. After I did the Cicada video, a bunch of people messaged me like, it's not practical. How do you step on it? I mean, you can step on it. It's not a big deal. You can totally step on it. However, it's a bummer hearing that being the thing. Like, it's not practical. If we want to talk about practicality, if you have a tube screamer that you want always on, here you go. You could tape it on the underside of your pedal board and not lose any real estate. Or you could, put these on the strap of your guitar and turn them on, or whatever. You can have a pedal board that will fit in your pocket or your backpack or your fanny pack or whatever. And that's a cool thing to have. But more so than that, this is fun. Look, we are on a spinning rock, orbiting a nuclear explosion, hurtling through infinite and ever-expanding space. If your main concern is what practical use everything has and how you can categorize it and fit it into every box, that's a real fucking bummer, man. These things are fun, and it makes me smile when I look at them. The thought of showing up to a gig or a jam or a practice, rehearsal, whatever, with a tiny pedal board with a bunch of these things on it really makes me happy. Or having my big pedal board with a bunch of big pedals and then like a couple of these in there too. It's important to have joy and silliness. And you know what it reminds me of? It's like when Christopher Nolan made those Batman movies and he just like sucked the joy out of Batman. Like everything had to be explained and, well, this is where his cowl came from and this is what his cape is made of. And the Batmobile is not pretty, and because it was a military vehicle, and like it just took every sense of adventure and mystery and excitement out of it because everything had to be practical. It's the most boring thing. And don't even get me fucking started on those movies. I had an old podcast I did, and I did 3 episodes on each of those trash movies. So fight me in the comments about it. But that's beside the point. These are very fun. They sound great. They are legit pedals. There's nothing gimmicky about the sounds that come out of these things. They just happen to be adorably tiny. And I want to live in a world where there's whimsy and there's weird people making silly things that are awesome. Look around at all of your gear. You're borrowing all of it. One day you won't be here and that will be somebody else's. And won't it be nice that the joy and silliness that you feel with these things will one day be passed along to whomever gets them next? So I think these Olinthus people are doing an awesome thing, and I'm really here for it. If you are too, click the links in the description below. You can buy this pedal if you want, or just check out their website and support them on Instagram or wherever else you want. You can also find links to everything else I'm using, as well as all of my Bandcamp stuff and my social media and everything else. I do really appreciate you guys supporting and coming in every week to watch these videos. It means the world to me. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing, and I'll see you next week. Peace.